It's your boy LAK. Holla at your boy. Live in the building. It's Us TV. And I'm here. Yeah, here again. And this just came across my mind and I wanted to elaborate on this concept. And I seen that
it's 4 o'clock.
Confirmation that a lot of people are trying to figure out when their time is going to come, and they're depressed. They're in the prison of the mind. Depression, the prison, right? The illusionary wall that we place upon ourselves based upon expectations of where we're supposed to be, how we're going to get there, and why we're not there when we think we're supposed to be there at the point in time that we want to be there, right? And that's only because, one, a lot of people don't have a game plan. Two, different expectations. Three, comparison of one's life to yours. Four, the game plan is only the template or blueprint to a bigger picture that's beyond your imagination, and the timing of alignment is beyond your workings until you trust the workings of the universe to do it for you. So you don't want to be depressed in the prison. You want to get out of the prison and in the prism, right, of dimensions that surround you that you can reach, and realize that you're not in a box, but you can put yourself in a space that allows you to grow, right? While erasing the concept of a box. Because there's different shapes. You feel me? There's different shapes, and you can shift. You know, you can shift the spaces that you're in. You can clear the space that you're in. You could take away the space that you're in. You could defrag your mind. You know what I'm saying? Your mind is like a computer. Every so often, you have to defrag your mind to get space so that you can think about how to move and when to move to the next step. A trick that I use is when I meditate and I close my mind, thoughts come to me randomly, but I imagine the thoughts in bubbles, and one by one, I just pop the bubbles that's in my mind so that it could be clear until I get to the most, until I get to no thought at all, or I try to minimize all the thoughts so that I can think clear. And that allows yourself to have a clear vision of who you are, who you want to be, and where you're going. And also, you have to take time to inner reflect about who you are, see yourself for who you are, and be in love with the version of yourself at that point in time, and realize that you're your own individual, and what you have uniquely, no one has the gifts that you have, or people have similar gifts, but they have similar gifts in different ways. So you don't want to compare or contrast yourself to anyone else until you uniquely find the fine-tuning of your gift or your skill. Also, you don't want to get caught up in the comparison of skills and talents, because everyone work at a different pace. Everyone come from a different environment. Some people was working to get out of their environment, and the only way they could get up out their environment was to have a skill that they had to inherit, or a skill that they made a choice to get better at, just so they could get up out their situation for that time in that space, only to elevate in a different direction. Some people had to gain skills out of instinct and out of survival. You know what I'm saying? So not everybody that's playing a position wanted to play that position because of choice. A lot of people had to play a position because of the instinctive choices that they had to make based off of the situation. So a lot of times you're like, yo, why does this person know this, or why does this person do this, or why does this person do that? It's because the situations that we grew up in. So you don't want to compare yourself to someone and be like, yo, why da 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 da? I'm living like this or they're living like that. You want to figure out, where am I at in life? Where am I going in life? Who am I going to benefit? What is my purpose, right? The purpose is, how can you identify with your goals, where you're going, and what you're trying to do on purpose? You feel me? Like, if I want to put the ball in the basket, I literally look at the basketball and I know that there's a rim. I put the ball in the basket on purpose. There's different ways to shoot the basketball. So then I study how to shoot. So then now you're going to start breaking down the process in becoming a skilled basketball player, shooter. And there's different dimensions of, but it's a choice that puts you in a space that would allow you to make certain decisions in order to get to certain levels and phases based off the choices that you make, right? So if you want to be nice at basketball, you're going to say, okay, I'm going to take this basketball and I'm going to learn how to score in different ways. But you got different levels and tiers of the process of the game. You got dribbling, you got shooting, you got defense, you got offense. You have the different dimensions of the defense, different dimensions of the offense. You got cooking, you know what I'm saying? Different cultures use different seasoning, different ethnicities don't eat certain type of meats and stuff like that. And certain different players play different sports. You feel me? Girls do hair, but they do hair in different ways. You feel me? So it's all about the processes of the concepts that you want to be a part of. And it's up to you to learn the concept and be willing to actually go through the phases of being skilled at that process, right? Or skilled at that gift, talent, or career, or whatever you choose to do, based off of the time that you put in or you willing to sacrifice for that elevation, without being jealous or envious of one's progression and phases of elevation in comparison. Because a lot of times you'd be like, okay, this person, y'all could be playing the same sport, right? And you'd be like, yo, this person elevated, right? And you'd be like, dang, we both came in at the same time, but this person elevated in the way that they were supposed to. And I realized that it's about expectation and knowing the where you want to go and the time that you're willing to put in. You feel me? The time that you're willing to put in and in your concepts. You feel me? It's the time that you're willing to put in. And that's what I started to separate myself from a lot of people with the trajectory of what I wanted to bring to the table as far as music and how I wanted to do it. You feel me? My story is this. I ain't have the time, or I didn't make the time all the time to like be in a studio all the time, because I wanted to hustle and I wanted to learn the hustle and I wanted to learn the game and I wanted to put myself in position to be multifaceted. So there were certain things that I had to do on the go, right? So while I'm hustling, right, I had to create instincts and my own utopia in my mind, right? Instincts and more utopia. I had to create my utopia in my mind so that I could break down my process. So when I was on a train going somewhere, like if I was in New York and I was on a train and I know that it's going to take me 2 hours to get there, those 2 hours, I broke it down into like, yo, I got 2 books. So I can knock out 2 books or 2 chapters, a couple chapters within those 2 hours of each book. Boom, for that train ride. Then by the time I get to my destination, right, I probably got to walk. So while I'm walking, I got my headphones in my ear and I know that I got to write these raps. Boom, 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 I'm writing the raps. But then at the same time, I got money in my pocket and I got to go buy some supplies for my wholesale, or go to the wholesale to go cop some product wholesale, right? So I'm copping product, I'm reading my books, I'm writing my raps, right? Then I got to make time to go work out. Boom. So now my body is adapting to the process of which I chose. And I'm starting to mold myself into that individual that I envisioned based off the choices that I made. So it allows me to morph into that unique individual that I see myself in. But the crazy thing about it is you want to elevate yourself in a position, right, that you see yourself in already. And that's the key of it. Like, you got to see yourself in that position already. So when you see yourself in that position, the frustration comes from you wanting to be there already, right? Because your mind is already there, but your situation is not there yet. And that's the fight between the prison, that box, because you're in the box of being there, but your body's not there. So you had to allow that space to unfold so that you can become and you don't miss out steps in the process, because within the process, you're going to learn in increments and at checkpoints of how to become whole so that when you get to your destination, you're prepared. Or you're not going to be fucking prepared. You're not going to be prepared. You're just going to be like, you're going to be polished for the situation, but you're always going to have to elevate each step of the way, because each step of what you require, what you expected, demands another level of yourself that you're going to always have to keep learning. And once you always think about that and think of yourself as a student at all times, you always going to be in position to grow. And you're going to get out the element of I can't. You're going to get out the element of why is my life like this? And you're going to get out the element of looking at other, you won't even have time to look at other people's lives because you'll be so focused on what you're doing that you don't have time to even study someone else unless it's a like-minded person who's got to your destination before you and you're learning from their processes and how they did things and their shortcomings and stuff like that. So you're learning as you're going from people who did it before you, but the goal is to have your own unique way of doing things so that you don't get caught up into watching someone else's life as if you can't do it or you can't find a way to get to that destination by doing things your way. So the goal is to have a plan, right? Put action in the plan. Allow yourself to go through the process in that plan. Do the work. Do the fucking work. That's the thing. Do the work. Because what's going to happen is your mind breaks up into like these, they have these neural pathways and it's like circuits, and your mind has to adjust to your routines and techniques so that it becomes muscle memory, right? And the more you defrag your computer, the more you allow your mind to have a clean slate of circulation of thought processes that allows your machine to operate in a clean manner. Like energy can flow through you because your body is not congested with negative thoughts or being overwhelmed by a situation if you don't take time to sit back and realize and be aware of like, yo, this is what I need to do. Like, let me fall back real quick. Let me take 20 minutes every single day for myself to reflect. Let me take 20 minutes to just breathe. I just want to breathe. You feel me? I just want to just think about nothing. Because when you're thinking about nothing, that's when the thoughts come to you. You feel me? When you're overwhelmed with why this and why that and why this and why that, your mind start to get foggy. And we all go through that because we're like, yo, what is these incidents or these happenings that's like happening to us, and how does it fit in with the timeline of where I'm trying to go, and why is this a part of my story? And then you start to break things down and be like, okay, I can see the story for what it is already, and I can be in position to change the trajectory of where the story goes. And I can have a clear mind to not force the story, right? And I'm aware of the time that I do have, so then I can overload with the progression and action that I want to put in the story. You feel me? Because once you start realizing that the time is of the essence, you're going to put in more work and 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 more work. And you're going to say, damn, I could do this. I could do that. I could do this. I could do that. I could do this. I could do that. I could do that. I could do that. Based on what you want out of life. So then that's when you start to get away from the concept of depression, the prison. You feel me? You just be like, this is what it is. It feels like this. It's like tense, you know what I'm saying? Be tense because you're thinking, you know what I'm saying? All of our minds are wired a different way because of like the environments that we come from. So your mind always got to be in a space of like awareness to where you be like, ah, fuck. yeah, I'm in this space of like overthinking, or I'm in this space of like I don't need to be rushing, or you know what I'm saying, or I need to fall back right here, or let me not force this situation, or let me go for a walk, you know what I'm saying? Let me go take a break to clear my mind. Let me breathe. You know what I'm saying? Let me take time to like ease my mind. You feel me? And I see things from like I could see the energy being poured out. Look at that. The event just came on. The energy being poured out from my surroundings. And I know when someone is like, yo, bro, I need some advice, or I need some direction, or I need to know a perspective of like how to get up out of this this mind state. And the key to it is having patience with yourself, knowing that you had a plan, or you have a plan, and within that plan, you just gonna put in the fucking work, and you gonna put in the action. That's it. That's it. That's the only way. That's the only way. That's the only way. The only way. And everyone is manifesting. Everyone is creating life. It's just based off of what we making choices and what we doing. We all doing things. So whether it's good, bad, or ugly, you have to be accepting of the fact of what you're doing at that time without having a conscience of being like, yo, of being guilty and shit like that. You feel me? 'Cause everybody manifesting, and everyone is a genie right now. You feel it? Whether you believe it or not, everyone is a genie. So we just manifesting based off of the choices that we are making, and based off the mindset that we were taught from the environments that we're coming from. And the hardest thing to do is to unlearn and then relearn and reroute and recircuit your mind to think in a certain perspective and channel different energies and move in a certain way, and not compare your progression to other people's rates of how they implemented or how they're moving in their situation. You feel me? So as you're moving in your situation, you're saying, okay, okay, I like what they did over here. 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 You feel me? I may not want to do it that way, but I'm gonna go this way, and I'm gonna implement this, and I'm gonna implement that. But your steady progression at the pace that you're progressing at, based off of the energy and the action that you're putting in, and not getting caught up in also other people's opinion of where they think you should be at the time that you're moving. You feel me? It's good to take expert advice on like how to do things, and sometimes the expert advice is there and they can see where you're going to be, but you sometimes don't get there because you actually have to go through the experience to gain the wisdom and the knowledge to even move in that manner of preparedness for that situation. So if you don't experience it, that's like the concept is this. If you see someone get burned, right, in a fire, and you go touch the stove, you know you're gonna touch the stove and get burnt, but you never felt the sensation of that feeling. So in your mind, you like, I want to know what it feels like to like get burnt, right? To touch that stove. Then you finally get that sensation. You like, yo, I don't want to touch that no more. You feel me? Or you go into a direction, right? Or you go into somewhere new for the first time, and you driving there, and you're like, yo, why is it taking so long for me to get there? And you keep asking, yo, are we there yet? Are we there yet? Are we there yet? Are we there yet? Right? And then finally, you go take that same route 10 more times, right? By yourself. And you ain't got no other way but to learn that route and direction. When you finally get there and you finally learn the route, that route don't seem far to you no more. It becomes second nature. It becomes a part of you. You start to know that route. You start to figure out that route. It becomes you. So it becomes a part of the maps that you have in your body. It's like your GPS. It's like a natural GPS. So when you start to put time in and allow your mind space to receive information of why you even made those decisions and where you're going with those decisions and why it's preparing you, you won't even get caught up in the downside of it. Because the only downside of it is you thinking about what you should be doing when you need to be doing what you were supposed to be doing at that time. So if you always implement an action, you won't really have time to overthink about why I need to be here or why I'm not doing this or why I'm not doing that. You feel me? Break down what you need to be doing, do it, and fight with the motion of you breaking a mold of your old self and channeling a new energy and a new concept of your prototype and being accepting of that's who I'm becoming. It's the same thing with the gym. It's the same thing with learning any type of concept. It's just the choices that we're making and the people who are willing to go further than other people based off of their situations and expectations. So you can't get caught up in the comparison of one's life if you're not willing to go the extra mile and do certain things that other people are willing to do. You feel me? Can't get mad at that. And you also have to be accepting of the time that you're putting in and accepting of your reflection time. Like you're your own unique makeup, right? And you're looking at yourself and you're like, yo, why am I like this? Why is my hair like this? Or why, you know what I'm saying? The more you embrace it, the more that you start seeing yourself as your true self. You feel me? One, you're going to see beyond it. And then two, you're going to see the beautiful makeup of God. And then you start flowing in a way that's, you can't explain it sometimes. It's like you just start flowing because you can't be a part of an entity or a concept that they say is God, right? And God is this almighty and this perfect person or this omnipresent situation or this being, right? You call yourself a part of him, and in your eyes, he's perfect. So why would I feel depressed down all the time, right? If God is this almighty individual that we praise and we go to for the answers and we're the reflection of him. So, or him, her, or whatever, they're like, yo, if that being is the ultimate, right? And I'm the reflection of the ultimate, then there has to be a concept of me that could go within myself and be like, yo, I could do anything. I could figure this whole situation out because I'm blessed with the powers and I'm blessed with the energy and I'm blessed with the mind and I'm blessed with the powers that can help me channel the answers or the downloads that come to me. So that's the challenge. The challenge is accepting the unknown and going into that realm so that when you go into that realm starts to feed you with the nutrients that your body been looking for, right? And what it does is when you start flowing yourself with the nutrients that your body been looking for, it start flushing out the shit that your body don't need. You feel me? That bad energy that your body don't need. You could command your thoughts to be like, yo, I want to think like this. And then you can also command yourself to be like, yo, get this negative situation or these thoughts or these concepts or this feeling out of my body. You feel me? And now how you do that, you could run that shit out. You could go work that shit out. You feel me? All these different things, you could get rid of it. But it's there. But it's a duality of who you are. So your subconscious mind is going to be like, yo, you can't do it. But your conscious mind is like, yo, I could do anything. And then you yourself just got to be like, yo, fuck that. I'm going to go with that challenge of me getting to that conscious level and putting myself in a position to win rather than me being defeated. Because I don't like the feeling of being defeated in no type of way. Or I don't like the feeling of feeling down in any type of way. So I'm always going to look for the concept of challenging myself so that I could get to that next level and I could elevate myself. And that shit is going to hurt because it's breaking down the negative concepts of your mind and your body. You feel me? That concept of like fear, doubt, and pain and all of that shit has to leave your body so that you can elevate to the next level. You feel me? And that's what you got to challenge your mind to. And you're going to start realizing things as you go on and as you put that time in. So yeah, man, the depression is just the prison that we place upon ourselves that doesn't exist because we put a box over our being. But our being is like free. You feel me? So once you channel that concept and you start to realize that there's no box, and the space that you take in the time to overthink about why you're not in position or why you're not doing this, that's the time when you just need to get up and go. Like, yo, fuck that, I'm going to the gym. Yo, fuck that, I'm about to write these raps. Yo, I'm about to write this book. Yo, I'm about to like do this research. I'm going to listen to this video. I'm going to watch, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to take this trip to this wherever I need to go. I'm going to call that company. I'm going to go do this. You feel me? And then you're going to bust a move. And in that concept of you bust a move, here comes serendipity. And that's another video. We'll talk about that later. But it's Us TV, Jazz America, 𝐿8𝐾. Holla at your boy. You know, links and bios. It's a wrap. February 18th, 2023. Holla at your boy, man. Subscribe, questions, comments. Let me know how you feeling, what you thinking. If you can relate, this was kind of like a deep concept because I could feel the energy like in the air of like just, and it's also with myself because I had to go through those processes even to even think like this. So as I'm thinking like this, I can know how to articulate it based off the situations that I was in. And we don't want to get into that space of like that darkness, because the darkness is there to help you see that you're in the dark so that you can move in a certain direction. You don't want to get stuck in the dark where you be like, yo, I got nowhere to go. That's when you start doing crazy shit. You feel me? You want to be in that space where you say like, yo, I'm in a dark space right now. And while I'm in this dark space, I know I got options and I got different doors to go through to get to the other side of progression and that light, that consciousness. You feel me? And you can know when to stay in the darkness because it allows you to tap into different levels unknown that you have to download once you start to take action in that direction. So yeah, holla at your boy, 𝐿8𝐾, Us TV, Jazz America. What's up?